So hello everyone. Yesterday we saw about IAM, right? Like how we can create and give the access to another user, right? With some of the rights, or we call it as policies. So in today's video of learning AWS from scratch, we'll learn about EC2, which is basically a virtual server, you can say, right? So in this video we'll see about how we can create an EC2 instance and how we can perform an SSH to the EC2, right? So I want you all to log in with IAM user that we created yesterday, right? And here you can see the IAM user that we created yesterday, right? I created it as a dev user, right? So our entire video series will use this dev user IAM credentials, right? So without wasting further time, let's click on this search bar, and I want you all to type EC2, right? And I want you all to click on it, and this EC2 instance screen will open on your browser, right? Here you need to choose Mumbai or any nearer location, or sorry, region that is near you. I'm present I'm currently in India, and that's the reason I am choosing this Mumbai, because it gives the problem of latency and cost gets there will be no problem of latency and cost if we choose the region based on our country or our location, right? So once you open EC2, this screen will open in your browser. So EC2 basically stands for Elastic Compute Cloud. Now what or why it is known as elastic? So see, I'll explain you this later, but let's understand what EC2 actually means. So you can say that we are renting um, a, another person's server in order to run our application, right? So that we will not be or we will not have any kind of problems like maintaining servers, installing server racks, buying the servers, installing operating system in that server, doing all the networking and all. And still in future, if there is need to upgrade anything, we'll need to buy another server blade, right? So this EC2 solves this problem, right? We can rent the servers virtually in cloud, and we can use that uh, as much as we want. And it's basically pay as you go. So AWS only takes money based on how much we have used that resources, right? And it's flexible as well, like for example, in near future, if you want to increase the memory or increase the storage or do some network modification, you can easily do that. Let's say I'm using the CPU with less power. I have basically created an EC2 instance, and in future I want to upgrade the CPU, memory, RAM, etc. So I can easily do with this EC2, and that's the reason it is known as elastic. Elastic means it's flexible, right? We can change as we want, and whenever it's possible, right? So this is basically the meaning of Elastic Compute Cloud, right? So let's get started. I want you all to click on this instances, and let's create one instance. So it says that there is no instance, so now let's launch one instance, right? So I want you all to click on the launch instance, and here we will create one instance, or you can say server, right? So let's click, or let's type fast API server. So if you have seen my Docker videos, in that we have actually launched an fast API instance, fast API image in EC2, and that's the reason I'm giving fast API server. So here you can name any, you can give any name you want, right? But I have given fast API server, right? And after that you need to choose the operating system for your servers, right? So which is known as AMI. AMI basically means Amazon Machine Image, and it basically means that choosing the OS image that we want to install in our virtual servers. So I'll basically choose Ubuntu because it's the operating system that is used in every servers, and it's basically uh, has the good support of Docker. That's the reason I'm using this Ubuntu, and this will all remain same. There is no need to change in architecture. It will be into 86, and basically this basically means that this 64-bit architecture uses ARM processor, and here it uses the regular processor that we use in our machine like Intel, AMD, etc. Right? So that's the reason. Keep architecture as it is same, no need to change over here. Now instance type. Now what is instance, right? So instance basically means what kind of CPUs, what kind of RAMs, memories your server or your computer will have, or virtual server will have, right? So as we are using a free version, these are the instances that are available for your free tier. Only 4 instances are available, which is a T3 micro, small, C7 flex large, and M71 flex large, right? So I'll explain you what this micro, small, what is T3 and all, right? So here, as if you can clearly see, it has 2V CPU, 1 gigabytes of memory, and this is the pricings per hour, how much it costs, and all these things. And based on your need, you can choose as you want, right? Now let's understand what this instance actually means. So this is the image that I found in Medium. I'll basically give this link of article in the description, right? So this is the instance name that are available, and based on your need, which instance is suitable for your work, everything is given in this table. So as we are learning and our purpose is general, and that's the reason we are choosing this T3. T3 is basically the family, right? It comes under T family. T3 basically means the third version, and T basically stands for tiny or turbo, and they are basically good for changing workloads, and they are burstable and all. uh, Basically it means that it can be easily modified, and they are for general purpose. Like all this can be easily modified, but as we are doing this for general purpose, and that's the reason why we have chosen this T3, right? And there are another families as well, like M basically means main or medium, C basically means for compute, high ratio of compute to memory, if we are having some compute optimized tasks and all. These are the memory optimized instances. R is for RAM, if we want higher memory, right? For that reason we use these instances. After that, this is for accelerated computing, good for graphics processing and GPU uses. Like if you have some a game, or like let's take an example of Valorant or any other game, that games could use this accelerated computing because they have a good support for graphics and all. So that's the reason. Based on your need, you can choose any instance you want. So currently we need this T3 micro, and that's the reason I'm choosing this, right? After that you need to generate key pair. This is for a login, means if you want to do SSH, that is secure shell, to your EC2 instance or this machine, you could do with the help of key pair. Key pair basically serves as an public and private key, or you can say password to your EC2 instance, right? So here I want to click on this create a new pair. Name of it will be let's type key. Key pair will be RSA encrypted private and public key pair, or this is the encrypted private and public key pair. So if you have used GitHub or Git, we basically use this, right? And I want the private key file format as .pl, right? And just click on create key pair, and it will be automatically downloaded. And you need to store this in securely, means you should not able to lose it anywhere, because it can be downloaded just once, you cannot download it again. That's the reason. After that, we have downloaded the key pair login. After that, this network settings. Now network settings is important because it decides which IP addresses could send requests to our machine, and what all traffic will allow to this EC2 instance, right? So here security groups we need to set. So security groups basically means the firewall. So how our a regular firewall works, like it basically allows some of the IP address or blocks some of the IP address for security purpose. Same as that, here we are going to allow some of the security groups in order to send request for our what you can say, this EC2 instance. So here you need to allow SSH traffic, and it would be from my IP. SSH traffic is only allowed from my IP, and allow HTTPS traffic from the anywhere, like you can say from every network interfaces. For that we'll use 0.0.0.0/0, right? And after that you can ignore this warning, right? And after that you do not need to modify any of these things, right? This is the configuration storage. Currently it gives you 8 GB of storage as root volume, and in future if there is need of adding any other volume, we could create another volume, and we can basically modify it as we want. Yeah, so here we have created this, and even if this doesn't work, we could modify the security group in near future, right, during hosting of a Docker image. So don't worry about it right now, and you need to simply click on launch instance and wait for a few seconds until you get one green pop-up message that instance is launched, right? So here you can see the progress, and yeah, it gives us a successful message that the instance is launched. Now I want you all to click on these instances, and here you can see the instance is running, right? Now when you select this is the details of that EC2 instance, like the public IPv4 address, private IPv4 address, and all. This is the instance type that we have selected, and all these things, all the information is available. Now here this is the networking, where we have added our what you can say, security group, where we have modified all these things. All these things is available in this security groups. When you click on inbound rules basically means that the request incoming requests, and outbounds basically means that what our EC2 instance could send request to what all ports, or what all protocols or ports, right? So here I want you all to click on this security tab and inbound rules, click on this security groups, and here we need to do some small changes. So here you need to change this HTTPS, right? Click on this edit inbound rules, and here click on HTTP, and the port will be 80 and this, and click on save rules. Now here, as you can see, this port range is basically changed, and that's the reason it is known as Elastic Compute Cloud. We can modify as we want. Now I want you all to go to the terminal, and I'll do one thing. I'll enlarge it and modify it a bit. Let's go to downloads, where we have downloaded the key pair. Here you can see the key.pm that we have basically downloaded, and I want you all to first copy the public IPv4 address. Copy this is the public IPv4 address of your machine. So public IPv4 address is for public, like where you can where you can do SSH connections, or it is available for public. And private IPv4 address is for only AWS network, right? Now when you will copy this, go to the terminal and type SSH I key.pem, the key that we have downloaded, right? Name of our EC2 instance, not the name but the operating system, which is obviously Ubuntu, and @ paste the IP address and click enter, and type yes. Okay, so we need to change the permissions. So I'll use change mode 400. It basically means that only the root user would be able to read this file, and the other group users will not be able to read. So I'll change the mode to 400, and then I'll do SSH connection. Now it should work. Now as you can see, we are inside our Ubuntu IP 172.3.1. we are inside this instance, right? We are inside this instance that we have created, right? So this was it for the video. So in future, or in next video, we're going to pull a Docker image that we have created in our Docker part, and we'll basically try to check whether that image is available. If we try to get that image from another URL, right? So this was it for today's video, where we learned how we can create our first EC2 instance. And when you are not using this instance, you could basically click on it, and you can click on this, and the actions, these are all the actions that you could change, and this the instance state. You can click on stop instance, so that the cost of AWS server will not increase. If you are not basically using that instance, you can stop that, right? So this was it for today's video. Do like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in next video. Till then, happy coding.